The AFC was definitely a tough challenge, despite the Kansas City Chiefs, who proved their superiority in the conference by winning their second championship in 4 seasons. Super Bowl 57. Even with a powerful AFC full of franchise game builders, teams are trying to figure out how to beat Chiefs and dominate the rest of conference. A week later, free agent and the teams wait to see what Aaron Rodgers has decided to do for 2023 season. What is Lamar Jackson's contract with the Baltimore Ravens? Even with the franchise label, will Jackson reach a new deal with Baltimore? Or will he flee for another franchise? Wherever Jackson goes, he can change the balance of power in the AFC. The Chiefs are best team at the conference, while Cincinnati Bengals and Buffalo Bills are not far behind, while Jacksonville Jaguars seem to be challenging top 3 sooner or later. Ravens and Los Angeles Chargers hope to reach top tier of contestants. Finding the right free agent fit to compete for a championship is crucial. A player that every team will pursue next week. Here's a free agent for every AFC team on days leading up to the most exciting season of NFL. Technically, Jackson is not an unlimited free agent. The Baltimore Ravens Jakobi Meyers WR, number 16 tar 96.67, REC YDS 804 TD6 Florida 2, View Profile. Whether Baltimore decides to bring Lamar Jackson back or not, it has to take on the wide buyer position. Unfortunately, this wide class of buyers is not strong. Meyers is clearly the best player in the open market. Rashod Bateman is number 1 in Baltimore, but Meyers would be the perfect complement to the slot. While his goal numbers are not very good in his career, Meyers has had 1,670 welcome yards and 8 goals in the last 2 seasons. Meyers, a great route runner and Lee in the slot, could put up huge numbers if Jackson returns. Buffalo Bills bonds could use a guard as Rodger Saffold entered the free agent market. Why not sign a contract with a younger and more versatile option at Seumalo, which can play left back, right back, and pivot? The guard on the offensive line would develop with Seuamlo. Seumalo will be in high demand, but that's what Bills needs to have a more consistent line of attack and a deep playoff run. The Cincinnati Bengals The Bengals will have to handle the corner kick as Eli Apple joins the free-to-play squad. Taylor-Britt has had a promising rookie season and could have lined up to start next to Chidobe Awuzie. But why not bring an old rivalry for one of the corner jobs? Moseley comes out of a torn ACL, but it's still an excellent hiding corner. Last season he allowed 43.6 pass ratings at 5 starts, and no touchdown passes were allowed. Moseley, who is only 26 years old, has only allowed 1 touchdown with a pass rating of 63.2 in the last 2 seasons. Moseley will be perfect discovery for the Bengals to use, as they will have to pay Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase in coming months. Cleveland could certainly use a left-wing intervention outside this season, especially given Jedrick Wills' struggles. Wills has allowed 17 sacks in the last 3 seasons, including 8 last season. An experienced upgrade is needed here, so why not bring the recently released Lewan? Injuries over the last 3 seasons have really limited Lewan, but there is still good football left in him. Allowing 4 sacks and 22 additions in his last full season is enough to bring senior competition for Wills' job. If the Broncos are to succeed with Russell Wilson, they need to do a better job of protecting him. Losing Garett Bolles was a big blow to his fighting position, so the Broncos need another fight to complement him. While Dillard can only play left intervention, Denver can shift Bolles to the right and make this side of the line a great force. Dillard is an initial challenge in the league, even though his former first-round pick has been blocked by Jordan Mailata. He only needs an opportunity to play 17 games and showcase his skills. Dillard won't be cheap, but the Broncos won't have to tear down the bank for him. The Texans need help everywhere in the squad. So let's start by getting a pass runner on the border. Clowney was once a star in Houston and is looking for work after spending just 29 points and 2 sacks in 12 games last season. Houston spent only 39 sacks last season, but now has DeMeco Ryans as head coach to speed up the rust, adding veteran like Clowney a 1-year incentive-laden contract can be extremely beneficial line of defense that needs go the quarterback. Win games. Another team that significantly needed help of the offensive line after allowing 60 sacks last season. That's most in NFL. Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith aren't going anywhere, but Indianapolis may need a little help in the right defense. While Risner has played a left back throughout his career, the right guard transition will certainly help Colts, especially when he is stuck between Smith and pivot Ryan Kelly. Risner allowed for 4 sacks and 29 points last year, but the chances of scenery might be good for him. If Indianapolis wants to protect young quarterback, Colts should be better off on inside of offensive line. This is where Risner comes in. The Jacksonville Jaguars' rust defense was not very good last year. 28 at allowed rust sites, 19 in the allowed passages. He took the place next. Sutton was definitely a challenge from Tyson Campbell or Shaquille Griffin for one of the initial corner hitting points. Sutton allowed only 54.6 pass points in coverage last season, with 3 interventions that were instant upgrades for a Jaguar secondary that required an upgrade. The Jaguars have proven that they will be aggressive during the free agent era. Why not target Sutton? Kansas City chefs after letting Frank Clark walk. The Chiefs will have to be very creative in finding fruitful options to reach the quarterback. Why not combine Graham with the head coach who drafted Andy Reid? Graham is 34 years old, leaving behind a major season with 11 sacks and 48 pressure. While Graham make his way back to Eagles, Chiefs can use a stable presence on sidelines that reach quarterback and help Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. Graham would have developed under defense coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, and he couldn't have cost a fortune either. Edmonds are set to become leading defender in the market, and Raiders have plenty of paycheck space to improve on a position that was a problem last season. The Raiders could have used it to help Max Crosby make a difference, which has certainly been the case for Buffalo since Edmonds entered the league. Edmonds has spent 5 seasons in a row with 100 fights, always having the ability to find football. Raiders could have used more players like this, especially after a bad year with Chandler Jones signing off as an award-winning free agent outside last season. Los Angeles Chargers spent a lot of money on the free agent squad last season, but still couldn't close all the gaps in their roster. His running defense was ruthless. 32 yards per carry. The allowed hurry